Dear students, welcome to the science class. In the last class, we were discussing about the topic named as separation of the substances. So already we discussed about different type of separation methods. Those are nothing but first one is hand picking, second one is threshing, third one is winnowing, and fourth one is saving. In case of what? In case of the solid. As well as in the last class, we discussed about the magnetic separation. After that, we discuss about the separation techniques in the liquids, where we are going to take a liquid as well as solid. Also, we are going to take two liquids. So, how we are going to separate those things? We are going to separate those things by using the sedimentation, decantation, and filtration methods. Already we discussed about the sedimentation as well as decantation. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the filtration. So, what do you mean by the sedimentation? What are we going to do in the sedimentation? In the sedimentation, we are going to we are going to keep that mixture for some time so that the heavy particles which are present in that mixture are going to settle down in that solution and liquid will be present on the upper portion. So that whatever the liquid which is present in the upper portion, we are going to throw it out by inclining the container. So when we incline that container, whatever the liquid which is present there is going to go out. So that method is nothing but it is the decantation method. Sedimentation is the settling down of the heavy particles due to the gravity. Right, lighter particles will remain on the upper portion, whereas heavy particles are going to settle down. That is nothing but sedimentation. Whereas decantation is nothing but it is the removal of the liquid material from those things. So that we are going to incline it. So whatever the liquid which is present in that mixture is going to come out. So that is decantation. As well as we use the decantation in separating the two immiscible solids. For example, if we are taking the example of the oil and water, where oil is going to deposit, it is going to float on the water after some time. So water and oil are not going to mix with each other. So oil is going to deposit on the upper portion. So whatever the oil is floating on the upper portion, by decantation we are going to separate that oil. So in today's class we are going to discuss about the filtration. What is filtration? How it is done? We are going to see. And we also are going to see by using all three methods which method is preferable. So take an example of the tea. How you are going to make the tea in your home? By using the tea powder or tea leaves. Along with that we are going to add water. In that water we are going to add water or milk. It depends. Maximum of the time we are going to use the water. In that water we are going to add some amount of sugar. After adding the sugar, what we are going to add? We are going to add the tea leaves. What will happen? And we will start to cook it. What will happen after heating it? The tea will be prepared. So, how we are going to drink that tea? So that tea contains some impurities. That is nothing but tea leaves which contains some tiny particles will be present in that tea. So we are going to separate those tiny particles of tea leaves in those which are present in that container. So first we are going to see about the sedimentation. Is it possible that using the sedimentation we are going to separate the leaves there? Is it possible? Yes, it is. Some amount of time it is possible. So that we are going to keep that tea that how it is there only for some time, for 1 or 2 minutes. What will happen? The light particles, that is nothing but tea leaves, are going to come on the upper portion. They are going to start to float on the upper portion, whereas the tea liquid along with some tiny particles will settle down at the bottom. So whatever present there at the upper portion, we can remove it by using the decantation method. We can use the decantation method. So whatever tea there leaves, it is good for drinking. When you drink that tea, still that tea contains some impurities. That tea still contains some impurities. So how we are going to separate that impurities which are present in that tea? For that reason we are going to use a strainer. If you remember channing, we can say it. We are going to use a strainer. In that strainer we are going to take a cup and we are going to pour the tea. What will happen? The strainer contains some tiny particles, tiny holes, very tiny holes. So then it is allowing only the liquid particles to go through it. That is nothing but it is a membrane. It is allowing only the liquid particles are going to go through it. But whatever the tiny particles, whatever the tea leaves which are there are not passing through it. They are not passing through it. Why? Because of the small holes, because of the very small holes, it doesn't allow the higher Because of this, we are going to separate the tea leaves from the liquid. Whatever tea we are going to get in that cup is nothing but it is the pure tea. It doesn't contain any impurities. So how we are separated here? We are separated by using the strainer. By using the strainer. So that method, whatever method we are using for the separating the impurities from the tea or separating the tea leaves from the tea by using the strainer is nothing but what? It is the method of filtration. It is the method of filtration. So what is the filtration here? Filtration. Filtration is nothing but this is the method of separation. Method of separation. Method of separation. Where we are going to use this method here to remove the minute impurities from the liquid or from the mixture. It is the method of the separation by method of separation in removal of minute impurities. In removal of minute impurities from the mixture. By using a membrane. By using a membrane or a strainer. By using a membrane or a strainer. So either we can use the strainer or we can use the cloth. So that in that cloth, whatever clothing material we already know about the cloth. So all the cloths have some tiny holes. When you use that cloth, the tiny holes only allow the water particles, that is nothing but liquid particles, to pass through it. Whatever thing is there or the impurities are there are going to collect in that cloth. So that which can be also said as the what? Which is also said, that method is also said to be a filtration method by using the cloth. So here is the cup of tea. Now already we have filtered that tea by using the strainer here. Now whatever liquid which is coming here, whatever liquid that is nothing but tea, whatever there, the pure liquid which is present here after the filtration, this liquid is nothing but it is known as filtrate. It is known as filtrate. Whatever doing, whatever after the filtration, whatever liquid which is present, which is remain, that is nothing but it is the filtrate, as well as what is present here is the impurities. These are the impurities. Right? This is all about the filtration. However, filtration can be done by using a method or membrane, that may be a cloth or that may be any other membrane which has the force, or it can be done by the strainer. So this is all about the filtration. Now we are going to take another example. So that we are going to identify which method is better for the separation of the liquid. So if we take the example of this tea leaves also, we are doing this by the two methods, that is nothing but one is by decantation, second method is by filtration. So which method is preferably better? Which method is better here? The method which is used here, that is nothing but filtration, is better than the decantation. So there will be less impurities will be present by the filtration compared to the decantation. So the tiny particles, smaller particles can't be separated by the decantation, whereas in the filtration, the tiny particles and the minute particles of the impurities can be separated here. So this is about the filtration. Take another example. Take the example of the muddy water, the water which is coming in the muds, or after the rain, when we have the muddy water, which contains lot amount of the mud. So we have to collect that water. We have to collect that water in a container. That muddy water we have to collect in a container. This is container. We have to put the muddy water like this. Right. What we have to do here? We have to keep that muddy water for some time. After some time, what will happen? We already know that the muddy water contains lot of impurities. That is nothing but it contains the soil particles. So whatever the soil particles which are present in that It is some amount of the pure water. So what is settling down here? These are the soil particles. After some time, whatever this method is happened here, this process happened here, it is nothing but the sedimentation. It is nothing but what? It is the sedimentation, where the larger, the heavier particles of the soil are settling down, whereas the minor particles of the liquid or light particles of the liquids are remaining at the upper portion. So what we are going to do? We are going to fill that container. We are going to fill that container. So whatever water is present here, it will be removed from here. So that these soil particles are removed separately and this water is separated. So this is the one method of separation. Now we have taken the water here. This is another container. This is above water, and this sedimented particles or the solid particles which are settled down will remain there. So we have already separated here by the decantation, by filling this container. So if we check this water again, this water still looks like reddish color, brownish or red color. Why red color? Since it still contains some amount of minute particles. Those are nothing but impurities. Some amount of minute particles. We already know that water is colorless. It doesn't have any color. When you check it, it has a reddish color. So then what we can conclude here, it still contains some amount of impurities. So we have to remove that impurities. How we are going to remove that impurities? For that reason, we are going to take a funnel. In that funnel, we are going to add some filter papers. We are going to fold the filter papers. Those filter papers can be added here at this portion. So what will the filter papers have the tiny pores? When you pour this water into the filter paper through this funnel, whatever the impurities, that is nothing but reddish color impurities of the soil particles are going to separate and are going to remain in the filter paper only. So whatever pure liquid is there is going to pass through the funnel to the container. So whatever the water which is going to be stored in this container, it will be pure one, and the impurities, the minor impurities which are present here are going to stored by the this filter paper. This filter paper which is doesn't allowing the tiny particles to pass through it. In this manner we can separate the muddy water from the, we can purify the muddy water from the oil particles. First by the sedimentation, second by the decantation. Whatever the muddy water, minor particles which are present here, again they are separated by using the funnel, by using the filter paper. So minor particles will remain there, and we are going to get the pure liquid here. So this method is nothing but what? It is the filtration. So we are going to use these type of methods for the purpose of the liquids. Those are nothing but sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. So next we are going to see about the evaporation. Next we are going to discuss about evaporation. So already discussed about sedimentation, filtration as well as decantation. In the same manner, filtration can be used for the purpose of the separating the juices. So while making the juice, we are going to use the filtration scrubber to filter the juice from its pulp or from the seeds of those fruits. In the same manner, whenever you go to see whatever some amount of the strainer is used, they have read the strainer is used for the making of the separation of the particles. For the purpose of the separation of the particles, that method is nothing but filtration. So next we are going to see about the evaporation. For the evaporation, you can see those evaporation in your home also. So what will happen when we continuously heat the water? Now take a container here. That container is continuously heated, which contains water. This container containing the water, this is continuously heated. What will happen? Whatever the water is present, it is going to convert into the gaseous form. That is nothing but there will be formation of the bubbles. They are going to go away in the air. Right? In the same manner, if you take the example of the making of the rice, after the rice, we are going to close the upper surface of the vessel by using a cap or something or some other vessel. So what will happen after some time when you check that cap or any vessel which is kept on that rice vessel, what will happen? There will be the formation of the bubbles below the that cap or that whatever we are going to put on that vessel. So what are those bubbles? Those bubbles are nothing but air bubbles. Those bubbles are nothing but those are the water vapors. Those are the water vapors. So what is the water vapor here? When we continuously heat the water, water is going to get converted from liquid form to the gaseous form. Right? If you see here, there will be lot amount of air is present around us. So whatever the air which is present is nothing but it is the gas. It is the gas. In the same manner, the liquid form is nothing but water is the liquid form which is continuously flowing. In the same manner, if you take the example of the table, it is the solid form. So whatever the liquid which is present inside that container, that is nothing but water. When you continuously heat that, it is going to convert it into the air bubbles, water vapors, and it is nothing but gaseous particles. So that condition, that process is nothing but what? It is the evaporation. That process is nothing but what? It is the evaporation. So what is the evaporation here? Evaporation is the process of conversion of water into its vapor. So evaporation is the process of conversion of water into its vapors. Water into its vapors. Evaporation is the process of conversion of water into its vapors. So wherever you see, evaporation is continuously happening. If there is presence of the sun, if the presence of the water is there, the water is continuously going to get evaporated. That is nothing but there will be formation of the water vapors continuously. Evaporation is happening always. It is always happening around us, but we can't see it. But the formation of the vapors is happening due to the sunlight, due to the presence of the water. So evaporation is nothing but the process of conversion of the water into its vapor. So where does we are going to use the evaporation for the purpose of the separation? In which cases we are going to use? Now if you take the example of the rice only, the making of the rice. In that making of the rice, we are going to put lot amount of water. But what will happen? Whatever the bubbles which are present on surface is nothing but those are the water vapors only. Is it possible that rice is going to evaporate it or rice is going to convert it into the gaseous molecules? Is it possible? No, it is not possible. So in the same manner, whatever the impurity which are present in the water, whatever we are going to add into the water, those impurities are not going to be evaporated. Those are not going to be converted into the vapors, but only the water is going to convert it into the vapors. So if water is going to convert it into the vapors, the water is going out in the gaseous molecules. And what will remain in that vessel? In that vessel there will be presence of the impurities or the essential components which are mixed with the water. So I am going to take an example to see how it is happening. Now I am going to take a container. In that container I am going to put some water. Take a container, I am going to put some water. So in that water I am going to add common salt. I am going to add common salt. I am going to stir it really well. So what will happen? The common salt is going to dissolve in the water. We already discussed in the last class that is nothing but sorting the materials into groups, where we discussed about the property known as solubility. So that common salt is always soluble in the water. So it completely disappears in the water. So when you add the common salt into this container, it completely disappears. We know that we added the common salt into the water. We have made a mixture. When you clearly see that, we can't identify which one is salt and which one is water. So for separating common salt from the water, what we have to do here? We have to continuously heat this water mixture. We have to continuously mixture, what will happen? Whatever the liquid which is present here, whatever the water which is present here, this water is going to get evaporated. This water is going to get evaporated. Because of the evaporation, there will be whatever the water which is present here is going to get converted into the gaseous molecules. So what will remain there? Whatever the impurity, that is nothing but whatever the essential component which is present in that mixture is nothing but common salt. That common salt is going to remain there in the container only after the evaporation of the water. So to separate this type of mixtures, we are going to use what? Which condition? We are going to use the evaporation. We are going to use the evaporation. That is nothing but to convert or to separate two miscible solvents, or to separate two a mixture which we couldn't separate, or which couldn't identify, or which couldn't differentiate between the components of those things. For those type of materials, for those type of mixtures, we are going to use the evaporation. So if we add common salt, is it possible to differentiate between both the things? It is not possible. So by heating, whatever the water is present, it is evaporating. What is remaining there only? It will be common salt. So salt is separated as well as water is separated. Right? I hope this is clear about how the evaporation is useful. In the same manner, this evaporation technique is used in the preparation of the common salt. So if you remember, from where does we are going to get the common salt? We are going to get the common salt from the sea. Since sea is the salt water which contains more amount or more quantity of the salt. So in that sea side, what we are going to do here, we are going to make some columns like this. In those columns, we are going to collect some sea water. That sea water is exposed to the sunlight. In presence of the sunlight, there will be lot amount of heat energy is going to produce. In the presence of the sunlight, lot amount of heat energy, that heat energy is going to evaporate the water which is present in that mixture. When the water is evaporated, what will remain there? There will be remaining of the only salt. So in this manner, salt is separated from the sea waters. The water is evaporated, salt will remain there only. We are separating the salt from the sea water, and whatever the salt which is coming here, it is further purified for the purpose of using it. So this is about the evaporation. Where it is used, how it is done. I hope this is clear. In the next class, we are going to discuss the further sections of this topic. Up to that point, thank you. Take care. Stay well.